That's a bomb. Shut up, Beavis. That bomb is for weenies. You said weenie. Whoa. You see how that goes? Whoa. We should be like high or something. Yes. Make sure to share to your Facebook pages, ladies and gentlemen, because it is a very special night tonight. Stick around, get all the heavy metal news and funny stories. And if you got funny stories, please share them in the chat. We would love to read them on the air. Ladies and gentlemen, are you ready to talk some shop? The boss and the box. Fucking shop with 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 the boss and the box. Hello everybody, my name is Brandon the Boss Blacker, and this is episode 142 of Talking Shop with the Boss. And who the fuck is Dave? Well, I got a little story to tell you, ladies and gentlemen. It is just the Boss tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 142 of Talking Shop with the Boss, and who the fuck is Dave? Thank you, Gershock, for that title. Your handsome heavyweight duo is a single tonight because our buddy, he's a little ill, as you can see on social media. So, but it is what it is. We have lots of fun stuff to talk about. So, let's get right to it. So we're just kind of going to jump in a little bit. And man, it's been a hell of a week. Just all over the place. So number one, I got to say this episode is brought to you by Summer's Eve, the official sponsor of Cowboys fans. I don't need any more explanation for that. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been a heck of a week. It seems like everybody that I know is coming down with something. It doesn't matter what it is. They're coming down with the cold. They're coming down with the flu. They're coming down with COVID. Everybody is coming down with something, and it's just the weirdest thing. So far, I'm good. I hope some of you are good as well. Hey, where'd our people go? They were hanging out and they just magically left. Let's see here. Did Restream, what the heck happened to Restream? 1 second, folks.
Talking shop with the boss in the box. Talking shop with the boss in the box. Talking shop with the boss in the box.
All right, let's try this for round 2. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Brandon the Boss Blacker, and this is episode 142 of Talking Shop with the Boss. And who the fuck is Dave? Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, this is episode 142, and unfortunately, I am going by my lonesome, but the show must go on. But we have a lot to talk about. We have a lot of heavy metal news, a lot of good stuff, a lot of bad stuff, a lot of funny stuff, and we have funny stories as well. So check it out. Man, this episode is brought to you by Summer's Eve, the sponsors of the official Dallas Cowboys fans. All right. Anyways, now that I got that out of the way, ladies and gentlemen, how is everybody doing tonight? I hope everybody is being safe. I hope everybody is healthy because, man, it's been a hell of a week. I'll tell you what, as a teacher, I went from 20 kids in my classroom all the way down to 4. I mean, that's absolutely freaking incredible, man. To go from 20 kids down to 4, and my peer classrooms, next door to me, it was nothing like it was crazy. Like they also have like 15, 20 kids per classroom, and they went down to like 4 or 5 kids. So everybody is getting hit with some sort of sickness right now. And well, hello, Amanda. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. I hope everything's good on your end over there. Like I said, my buddy Lunchbox, the handsome heavyweight duo, is just one solo single tonight, unfortunately. But the show must go on, content must happen, and etc., etc., etc. Man, I gotta say, this internet stream is kind of wonky tonight. A few minutes ago, literally, they went and, like, for the first time in, like, 60 episodes, we started with, like, 0 people. It was incredible. And it's kind of bouncing here and there. So if you're in the chat, let's chat, let's talk. But, for the most part, let's just let's have some fun. Let's talk some heavy metal. I hope everybody's been enjoying the football playoffs. It's been a little rough, but the 49ers have made it to the next round of the playoffs. That's pretty awesome. So, I'm not exactly sure who they're supposed to be facing next. The Raiders were not so lucky, but unfortunately, they're not Bay Area anymore. So, but with that being said, there is a good chance that there's a very good chance that the 49ers can make the Super Bowl this year. They barely squeaked by to the Dallas Cowboys, and man, that was close. Also, if you are familiar with the podcast, which most of you who tune in are, make sure you go and check out Gun Music Radio. If you like Pandora, it's pretty much the same thing, but better. So you get radio stations and podcasts and you name it. So go check out one of our sponsors, Gun Music Radio. Also, another sponsor you should go check out is Settle Down Beer, the one and only beer that will put you down. That's right. It put me down and it gave me a large hospital bill. So that means it is really good beer. All right. So the first thing that we're going to talk about, so let's just kind of jump in to some of this heavy metal news, okay? So, and what I mean by heavy metal, like rock, heavy metal, doesn't really matter. But, as we're kind of talking about the pandemic, let's talk a little bit about, where's he at? Where is he? All right. So let's talk a little bit about Skillet's John Cooper. So anybody who knows who Skillet is, I mean, they're a good mainstream rock metal band. They've got good songs, been featured on WWE and all that good stuff. But Skillet's frontman, John Cooper, has explained his take on why God let the apocalypse happen in the first place. Okay. I mean, all right, I'm not going to place any judgments. Let's just kind of read the news as it is. So, Skillet frontman John Cooper, he says that, well, the first answer is that we're not good people. We're all fallen, and we are in desperate need of salvation through Jesus. So we're not actually good people. We all do bad stuff. We all cheat. We've all lied. We're all greedy. And as much as most living persons in this whole world that you'll ever find, that person is actually still very far from being what mankind is supposed to be, and certainly far off from who God is and the way, what God truly loves in a perfect way. You know, the singer went on to acknowledge that the answer doesn't necessarily take the trials and tribulations people go through any easier, such as his mother dying of cancer when he was 15. And he says, I'll just end with this. Most people would agree that when you go through trials in life, however they may be, there is this idea in the end, if you make good decisions and you follow through, if you change your mind and struggle through it, you come out on the backside stronger when you started. I think religious people and non-religious people seem to agree on this idea that being through fire, that sort of refines the gold, if you will, that's what makes you stronger. I don't know about all that, man. I mean, yeah, like, I mean, yeah, as human beings, I will completely agree. We all do bad stuff, but I don't think we all deserved a pandemic. Or did we? I'm not even really sure. But I'm getting mad. Oh, hello now. Yeah. So, yeah. Okay, John. Well, you know, keep doing what you do in Skillet by making those sick melodies, but let's keep the pandemic to the professional, shall we? Okay, so, you know, I don't even know what to say to that. Like, you know, for those of you tuning in, John Cooper of Skillet basically just says that God has created the pandemic because we're bad. I don't know about all that, but let's move on, shall we? So, where's this thing at so I could turn it off? There we go. So, the next thing I want to talk about Korn. If you guys didn't know, Korn has 2 brand new songs out right now on Spotify, Apple Music, you name it. One's called The Forgotten, and one is called Start the Healing. If anybody has heard these songs yet, drop it in the chat. I definitely want to check it out. I definitely want to check out what you have to think about these songs, because, man, it's interesting. So, for the best of my knowledge, these songs that Korn came out with, they are the first material they've come out with without Fieldy on the bass. So it doesn't have that real thump. Thank you, Mario. Didn't think it would be good for my health to yell for 2 hours in a cold garage. Oh, hey, what's up, man? Yep. Lunch Pail. What's up, Dave? Yes, absolutely right. It's, you know, the bass sucks. No Fieldy click. It's weird, like, because every Korn song has that, you know, that very specific rattle to the bass that Fieldy is most known for. And you know what? It's different. It's very progressive. It's very, it's mature. I definitely got to say that it's very mature. It's progressive. It's more akin to like Jonathan Davis at times. Sounds like old what's his name? Dude from Devil Driver. Sounds like him when he's just kind of like talking and singing, but when he starts like singing, he sounds like very clear, very crisp. Like he's been taking singing lessons all this time, which I hope so. Yes, Des Farfara, Fafara, whatever. But yeah, dude, like they sound very mature on these tracks. So I'm wondering if, obviously, I think the whole new album coming out on February 4th is going to sound relatively just like that. So it's going to be less frenzy, possibly even less experimental, and it's going to sound like a very mature rendition of what Korn does best. So I'm hoping everything goes according to plan with that. If you guys give me just a minute, I kind of want to bring in somebody for this this next thing here. Let's check this out. All right. Let's see here. So give me a minute. I'm going to call somebody. Let's see. Bringing in people. Let's see. Oh, that's why. All right, so got to make sure I get the stuff right. Oh, here we go. We're waiting for a nice guest. It might be tough to get this guest on the line here because it might be hard to get this guest on the line because they're actually on tour right now. So I don't know if they're in the car or if they're at the venue. Someone nice is going to be on the show. Yes, somebody very nice, very nice. I'll give him just another memento, and we'll try again. So. With that being said, where was it? All right, so check it out. Right now, our boys that you guys know so well, that you know and love, they are on tour right now. Ladies and gentlemen, Gershok is out on the Is It Safe to Come Out tour, where they're hitting up San Jose, Tulare, Albuquerque, New Mexico, El Paso, Texas, Phoenix, Arizona, San Diego, Anaheim, and Placerville. This is very, very interesting. Like, they picked a very interesting time to go out. Because right now, like, number one, the pandemic is, back in full fluctuation. Oh. Uh-oh. All right, he's back. All right, let's do this real quick. Let's bring him back. Now I got to figure out how to use Skype all over again. Here we go. Okay. What's up, man? Oh, man, I am good. Here, let me sit you into this episode here real quick. Let me get your camera up.
All right. Let's do this real quickly. Daniel, you in here?
I'm in here.
All right.
So we got you in here, ladies and gentlemen. Gershok.
Hello.
Scotty McRib. We got Daniel. Where's Mr. X at? Where's he at?
He's in the bathroom. X, you ready?
You can join from your phone if you want.
So hey man, where you guys at right now?
So we're at an undisclosed location in the Phoenix area.
Undisclosed. I mean, you look rather comfortable.
I mean, we are, but I cannot explain why.
Well, from what I can tell, you guys are doing this right here. You guys are on the Is It Safe to Come Out tour.
That is correct. We are on the Is It Safe to Come Out tour.
Man, so tell me a little bit about why you guys decided to go out right in the middle of a pandemic.
So here's the deal. It wasn't right in the middle of a pandemic. It was more like it was right in the mid. We lucked out in the sense that the Omicron cases came back, and it was like, okay, are we gonna pull out? Are we not? We're not. Cool. And so the way we look at it, we're fully vaxxed. We're being careful that we're doing what we can to really get this moving and like get out there on the road again. So, I mean, like, I just say, like, it is a risk, and we acknowledge that, but so far it's been going all right.
Absolutely. So according to your tour schedule, you've already hit San Jose, you've already hit Tulare,
Yes.
and you've already hit Albuquerque, New Mexico. How was the Red Gorilla Studios? How'd that go?
So, actually, that's tomorrow.
Oh, that is tomorrow. Okay. Oh, wait. Oh, you are actually, sorry, small print. So how did Tulare go? Because we love Barmageddon. We played there the last time, and it was just a ton of fun. How did it go?
It was fun, to be honest. Like, with what we had there, I mean, it's pretty clear that, like, with everything going on in California, that there is an effect, and that is what it is. I mean, it's clearly not. It wasn't like, the most packed night ever, but the people who were there, and they had a lot of fun, and that's honestly one of the best things we can ask for. It's been a interesting run of the lineup here, so that's something that it's a very different run all in all because of the circumstances going into the run itself. But I just say, like, we just found our footing as a three-piece, and it worked pretty well. We've got a couple things we're ironing out to get the remaining a couple songs like down to where it should be with that, but that's all coming. We're kind of today's kind of a lazy day to get ourselves into that mindset,
Of course. So Daniel, are you wearing the anonymous mask while you were drumming?
No.
No, he's not.
So what was, as you can see, I'm not sure how well you can see.
Hold on. Get in here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you didn't tell me this was going on.
Hey, it literally happened when you were in the bathroom. All right, we have a third person here. Get in here.
Now,
All right, now there's all three of us.
ladies and gentlemen, straight from the crapper, X. What's up, man?
Yeah, hey.
It was just the timing, Honestly, it was kind of funny when I messaged you like earlier. I thought the show had already was like running late or something. I was like, oh, we're an hour ahead.
Yeah, because something happened that was kind of affecting me. So I thought you were reaching out to me, going, "Hey, man, are you okay?" And I was just,
well, that too.
And I was like, no, I'm fine. And you're like, the show, the interview. I was like, oh.
No, that too. Like, that's just it. I mean, I know the news, and I'm sure you've already mentioned it, and that's just crazy that it all dropped today. But
not yet. We're getting there. That's part of some of the metal news tonight. So, okay. So things seem to be going good. I mean, you guys are running into your obvious hurdles when it's a pandemic everywhere. So, the thing that kind of happened right before this happened was the fact that you guys just released.
Yes, the Hypnotic Disasters EP.
Yes.
It is out on all major streaming platforms. We have it. It's on Spotify, Apple Music, on what's it called, Google Play, all those fun things. If you got a streaming service of choice, chances are it's on it.
Yeah. So, you got five awesome songs on there. Now, what was the point of the EP? What kind of theme did you have with the content?
That was actually something Leyland and I talked about doing. It was the whole name Hypnotic Disasters being the idea of just seeing something so awful that you can't quite look away from it. All of the songs that we wrote for it were kind of in that same vein of just people watching as everything goes to shit.
Mm-hmm. And you could definitely tell that in the Dead Skin Mask video that you guys did too. Like, you guys have hints of that in the video.
Yeah, the artwork is playing a huge role in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Josh really brought it to life. He did a good job.
So what's the story behind Leyland? You know, you guys are rocking the 3-piece right now, and if anybody can do that on short notice, I know you guys can. So what happened with Leyland?
Yeah, the CDC did not approve his mask.
Here, let's bring this back up again. So, right here, you see him with the X. Apparently, a beard does not double as a mask.
I mean, it does not. I mean, a beard is great for lots of handy things, but protecting yourself from COVID-19 is not one of them.
No. I wouldn't think so. So, just real quick, you know, Hypnotic Disasters is coming up. So, you know, you guys are on the your tour right now, the Is It Safe to Come Out tour. So anybody who sees this, whether you're in Arizona or California, make sure you see them in the next coming week. What's next for Gershok?
Well, so, I mean, outside of completing this tour that we have going on, obviously we are going to be taking part in the Wacken Battle of the Bands. I know, like, Short Fuse isn't on the night anymore, and that was due to their recent Soulfly tour appearance. But I guess what's going to happen with our battle is there's going to be a couple bands added after the fact, just make it a fun show.
Yep.
I don't know which bands they're going to be, considering that Hatriot just had to drop Toots because of COVID. I kind of hope that they end up being on that night, but that's definitely its own thing. I don't know who's going to win the Wacken Battle of Bands, but no matter what, we're going to beat Phantom Witch.
Hey, so where did this little competition with Phantom Witch come from? Because I know you guys have been buddies for a while.
Well, in that regard, so when we knew this competition was going to be a very big thing here. You know, it's a great opportunity with a lot of things in mind for what benefits you can have, because you know you can go on and play the whole event, and it's a cool little thing. And frankly, I would say that with that in mind, a friendly challenge was issued, and they took it a little further than we'd expect. And frankly, if they want blood, they got it.
So who is the one designing all of the memes lately? Because the memes have been gold.
I mean, on our end, it's a combination of me and him, albeit I would say that that's something that we work on. I definitely should be using some of my free time on this run to make some more of them now I think about it.
Which one was your favorite?
I like the the one I can remember the most is it's the Pro Wrestling Writers Room, where they're sitting at the table and you and eventually somebody gets thrown out the window.
Oh yeah, that was him.
That was
me.
him.
Yeah.
That was me.
So
Yeah, I also did the Thanos one.
yeah, that one was good too. So keep them coming. Good luck to all of you guys. Be safe out there and keep rocking. So, ladies and gentlemen, Gershok, please drop your links. Tell people where to find your stuff.
So, just in general, our new EP, Hypnotic Disasters, is out as of Friday. You can find it in all the streaming links. I'll probably just shoot like the link tree in like the comments in the video or something, so that way that's there. But if you got a streaming service of choice, chances are it's going to be on there. You can also find us on our YouTube. We've got all the major socials and that fun stuff. But yeah. If you're in Albuquerque, New Mexico, we're going to be playing at Red Gorilla Studios tomorrow. It's a streaming show, which it's going to be streamed on a YouTube link. There is an option to donate, and everything that goes into that is going to go to us. So for those who can't be there on the tour and want to see what we sound like as a three-piece, go check it out there and shoot us something, and it'll help us get on to the next stop of the run.
All right, so
Hashtag Team Gershock.
Hashtag Brew Crew.
so
Hashtag fire.
so we're gonna be able to actually watch that one.
Yeah, it's so Red Gorilla Studios is a streaming venue. It's to say that they have the ability for people to come in, so there's also admission, and there's gonna be a crowd of however many people show up, obviously, but they do live streaming, and that's something that they started with the pandemic. They saw it as a good opportunity to do.
Awesome.
So it's going to be on their YouTube channel, and that's something that we'll be sharing like during the event, so that way people know it's there, know it's a thing, and that they'll have the ability to tune in and support us.
Once we see it, we will share it on our page as well. So, live long and prosper, my friends. Be safe out there, and I hope to see you guys back here in a bit.
Oh, you will. Don't you worry.
All right. Bye, guys.
Take care.
Take care.
All right. Always good to see Gershock. Gershock is doing awesome stuff out there right now. Props to them. And actually, I'm a little jealous because I want to be on tour right now. I love being in the classroom. I love being on the podcast. But, man, I got to get out of the garage and stop playing in the garage and get out and play some shows. But with that being said, in honor of Gershock, wait, where did it go? Okay, so in honor of Gershock, men, are you hard right now? For the sake of this podcast and my humility, I hope not. But if you find yourself watching every porn video on Pornhub.com and not getting that statuesque figure that you usually marvel at, then I have one website for you, and that is BlueChew.com. That's right. Little blue pills are shipped to you discreetly every month for a price that beats any insurance plan this side of the West. So if you want that feeling of being a man all over again in the bedroom, go to BlueChew.com. All right, so just had to throw some of those fun little sponsors in there. But the next thing I want to kind of talk about, ladies and gentlemen, is happy birthday to Betty White. Now, we may have had a lot of a lot of things happen this week and last week, but man, Betty White just kind of threw us for a loop. So she just hit her, post-heavenly 100th birthday. So thank you for being a friend, Betty White. So the next thing I do want to talk about with heavy metal news is Wendy's strikes again. That's right. So anybody who knows anything about Wendy's knows that their social media game is pretty freaking awesome. Much like Arby's is awesome when it comes to pro wrestling, because if you follow Arby's on social media, they're always making cool little Arby's-esque art things for pro wrestlers or dropping little hints. Well, Wendy's loves to go on Twitter and drop the burn. So, Wendy's roasts Lamb of God, Under Oath, and more on National Roast Day. That's right. So, popular fast food chain Wendy's is renowned for their absolute savages on Twitter, and they're pretty in touch with the modern rock and metal scene, which made for some National Roast Day burns of Lamb of God, Under Oath, We Came as Romans, and others. Whoever is running the company's Twitter account has grilled more bands than Wendy's has grilled burgers, and that trend continues on this annual day in which they extended an invite to the whole internet to be roasted by this savvy, clever admin. Lamb of God got into the action and commented, "Let's hear it," to which Wendy's replied with a diss about the band's age and said, "My dad really dug your stuff." Ouch. It's not so much hurtful that Wendy's took a shot at the band's music for being parents. Metal's most venerated acts have been all around for a couple decades or more, but that dad at one point was into Lamb of God and is apparently not anymore. Other bands that they decided to to roast was Winds of Plague. They said that I hear when they breed the dogs to the faces like that, it's really bad for the animal. They're talking about the album cover for them. Under Oath says roast us. Wendy says new stuff sounds like my little brother trying to cuss for the first time. And we came as Romans. We came as Romans said, oh shit, us next, Wendy's, roast away. Wendy says, really seeking, reaching for relevance, huh? and don't get me wrong, I love we came as Romans, but yeah, Wendy's is right on the dot there. So, Fearless Records even got in on it, and they were just like, aren't you running out of bands that sound like MGK? Oh my God. And last but not least on this one, Attack, if anybody remembers that Scene Core band, says, all right, Burger Bozos, let's get this party started. Wendy says, guess when the other former members turn you down, the only real option is becoming a metalcore version of The Midnight. Wow. Go Wendy's, man. Excuse me. Wendy's, they do this every single year. Like I said, same with Arby's with pro wrestling. Go check out their Twitter. It's actually quite phenomenal. So, but moving on to the next thing. So let's see. All right, so we talked about John Cooper, we talked about Korn, we talked about Gershok. Let's talk about, oh man, so does anybody remember, let me remove this. Wait, where did it go? Okay, so does anybody remember Blackie Lawless? Is a part of the band Wasp. Well, he says he was one of the first people to contract COVID-19, and it took 3 months to shake it. He says it was kind of a bizarre thing because James Hetfield from Metallica was having a showing at the Peterson Museum right here in LA for his cars. And I hadn't been anywhere in quite a while, so I thought, okay, I'm a car guy. So we went down to see the cars, and what we weren't anticipating when we got there is that we found out later it was the single largest event in history for the Peterson Museum. There was like 1,000 people there and a lot of fans. Well, I mean, you kind of have to guess that if anybody from Metallica is going to be anywhere. So as soon as we walked in the door, it turned into a little bit of an in-store appearance. And so people wanting photos and just to say hello and things like that. Well, when you're taking photos and all that, everybody gets all up close and everybody's breathing on everybody. And to remember what it's like back in 2019. He continues, so we go to the show, everything's fine. About a week later, I started feeling kind of tough. A couple days into it, I thought, well, I've got the flu. Well, about 4 days into it, which normally you would start feeling better. Well, I wasn't. So I thought, well, tomorrow I'll feel better. The next day I got up, I was worse. And I thought, well, this is going to be a bad one. I'll be better tomorrow. And then the next day, even worse than that. And this goes on for about 7 or 8 days. And I'm getting to the end of my rope, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this? And then I lose my taste and smell and all that. That went on for 2 more weeks after that. But we don't know what this is, or there's no name for it. This was at the end of January 2020. So then I started getting better, and it goes on for weeks and weeks and weeks. And so, we didn't know what it was. Then we started hearing this rumbling that there's something out there with this funny name to it. So 3 months in, it took the better part of 3 months to really shake it. So, man, yeah. Jordan, yes, I got those things well before you sent them to me. Thank you very much. And I just read that one, Jordan. Where have you been? So, Blackie Lawless from WASP is saying that he is one of the first recipients of getting the COVID-19 virus back in January 2020. I don't know about that. I'm pretty sure I'm the first. I mean, I got mine in November of 2019, and I experienced absolutely everything that he said that he went through. Regardless, though, anybody out there who is going through COVID right now, no matter what variant it is, no matter what kind of symptoms you have, like I said, stay safe. If you caught it, stay home. Take your vitamins and all that good stuff. I can't tell you how much I swear by that stuff, but I'm not going to stand on a pedestal for all that. But I will say that, thankfully, everybody in my circles, fingers crossed, everybody's been okay that has been affected by it. So, endure with honor, my friends. And yes, Jordan, you were absolutely right. Drink water, drink tea, all that good stuff. It was a good chicken recipe. Good. I'm glad you had a good dinner tonight. So Blackie Lawless was in the news for having COVID 2 years ago. So, okay. So as we're kind of barreling through the heavy metal news, thank you for joining us. So yes, because of the article you did send me, the next thing we are going to talk about is Judas Priest decided to resume touring with Andy Sneap. Now, those of you not familiar with Andy Sneap, he's been kind of in and out of Judas Priest for years. So Judas Priest has announced they will continue touring with Andy Sneap after previously stating he would sit out this upcoming leg of the tour. Earlier this week, Judas Priest announced they would perform as a 4-piece, meaning they would have only one guitar player, Richie Faulkner, on stage at all times. Sneap was to depart from the lineup, but continue his job as a producer. Interesting. A recent statement from the band reads, "Hello, Metal Maniacs. Given all that has recently evolved and transpired, we have decided unanimously as a band to continue our live shows unchanged, with Rob, Ian, Richie, Scott, Andy, and Glenn joining us whenever he's able. So we'll all see you soon as we forge ahead, celebrating 50 massive heavy metal years of Judas Priest together." Andy Sneap expressed his displeasure with the group's decision to tour as a quartet after the announcement. "Rob called me last Monday and said they wanted to move on as a 4-piece, which I find incredibly disappointing after this amount of time. But I respect this decision as they obviously have a vision of how they want this to play out." So it looks like everything worked out in everybody's favor. So awesome. Good. It's good to see Judas Priest still rocking after 50 years. Not another news story, but I did see, I guess it is a news story. I did see that Iron Maiden, speaking of Judas Priest, is going back out on tour, and they are actually going to be playing their full newest album in entirety. So look out for that. If you like the album, get excited because they're going to bring it. Much like their last album, they kind of did the same thing there for the most part. I mean, they didn't play their 18-minute outro song, but Empire of the Clouds is just one of my favorite progressive songs out there ever. So anyways, look out for Judas Priest. They're coming to you, baby. Right. So now we're getting into some of the you know what? I'm going to talk about this one first because this one is pretty close to my heart. Did I actually throw it in? Yes, I did. Okay. Did I actually throw this in here? Yes, I did. So, after all this time, my favorite band in this world has broken up. Every Time I Die, a metalcore band from Buffalo, New York, have been around since 1998. And the 4 members of the band have stated that their final show was played on December 11th, 2021, which was their Tis the Season show, or Tids the Season show. Nice play on their name. In a statement, let's see. You could view Jordan Buckley and Andy William, also known as the Butcher in AEW, statement below. It reads, Andy, Jordan, Steve, and Goose's last show with Every Time I Die was on December 11th, 2021. While we hoped to come to an agreement upon legal statements that outline the truth, we were informed today of something planned to be released, not mutually agreed upon, that consists of inaccuracies and controls of narrative to benefit one. There has been no direct communication with Keith Buckley, the singer of Every Time I Die, because it's been either impossible for direct communication with him solely, or we've been cut off to any and all communication by him himself. Every Time I Die was these 5 members, and we were never budging or accepting any changes. Simply, there is zero truth about the band continuing on with a new singer. Lastly, we wouldn't be anywhere we are today without every single person that backed the band in any and all ways. While we're extremely disappointed in how all of this played out online in front of you, your support and the memories we have because of all of you will always be cherished. See you soon. Forever grateful, Andy, Jordan, Steve, and Goose. Wow. You know, I mean, bands break up. 1998 to 2021. Man, that's a long time to be a band. I mean, obviously it's not Judas Priest's 50 years as a band, but I gotta say, you know, for a hardcore band, for a metalcore band, for a mathcore band, whatever you want to call Every Time I Die, post-hardcore, whatever, that is a long time to be a band. And, you know, as somebody who's been a fan of this band for many, 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 many years, I will say there's a reason why they're my favorite band. Yeah, you know, we all have bands where sometimes the music isn't always the greatest, but what always won me over was the stage show. You know, whenever they played live, it was always high energy for 90 minutes every single time, and it was just incredible. Yeah, band breaks are sad, Jordan. Yes, they are. So, you know, like I said in my Instagram post I posted a couple hours ago, like, you know, I have seen the band 15 times, and I have a lot of cool memories with that. So, you know, one of my favorite memories is something I have talked about on the podcast before, but I'll talk about it one more time just in reference to what's going on is, you know, I got to see Every Time I Die at Slim's in San Francisco. Rest in peace, Slim's. And it was literally on my birthday, the very day. So, you know, I go and I had this plan. I had this plan where I wanted to get everybody to sign my my record jacket for the Low Teens record that they came out with. And when they did, like, I didn't know if I was going to accomplish it because all the other times I've seen them live, like, I might get Jordan to come out and talk to somebody. I might see the drummer. I've given Andy a hug a couple times, but I would never see Keith, and I would barely ever see Steve, the bass player, or any other bass player they had at the time. So I was just like, I'm going to try. It's my birthday. So I wrap up, the show wraps up. Everything's cool. And then at the end, Jordan does what he always does. He runs to the merch booth. So I ran over to him, started talking to him, got Jordan's signature. Boom, got it. I was like, cool, thank you very much. And I kind of see the people kind of scattering about. And all of a sudden I see Daniel Davison, their drummer at the time. I'm like, hey, man, would you sign my record jacket? And told him the whole situation. He's like, yeah, hold on. He's like, cool, no problem. So he signs it. And as he's signing it, I tell him the whole thing. I say, hey, look, I'm trying to get everyone's signature. It's literally my birthday. And he goes, I'll be right back. And while I didn't get to talk to everybody in the band, he comes back about 5 minutes later. He goes, here you go. And everybody signed the record. And all different, unique signatures. Awesome. Good shit. But also with that, he hands me a hat. He hands me a Violent Gentleman's hat. And he says, this is from Andy. Andy says happy birthday. And that just made my night. So I got the hat hanging behind me on my bedroom door. So, yeah, man. Rest in peace to Every Time I Die. I'm hoping in the next 3 or 4 years, maybe 5 years, that once everything kind of calms down, that we'll get a reunion show. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get a reunion show. Hopefully, I hope, because Jordan and Keith are brothers. So I hope they don't have any awkward Christmases or anything like that. And I hope everything works out. All I got to say is business can be a bitch sometimes. Whew. All right. So where is... Oh, did I not upload it? Let me find something real quick. Let me see. Did I get it? I think I got it. Let's see. Am I doing okay with this news? Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie. It actually kind of floored me a little bit. I'm a little sad, because they just released a brand new record, and the record is absolutely killer. One of their best records that they have come out with in the last 10, 15 years, probably. And 2 or 3 months later, they call it quits. It's like, there's gotta be something really bad going on right now, especially since the 4 of them are separating from Keith. And literally Keith posted on his Instagram today that they have issued a cease and desist letter from Keith doing anything Every Time I Die at all. So, yeah, that's tough, man. That is real tough. Pardon me. I'm just getting this next thing ready, which I did realize that I didn't do that before. So where'd that go? There it is. So, let me find... Actually, no, I don't need video on that. So, for this next one, I'm going to play a little video.
Unfolded earlier tonight in Tennessee, where Vince Neil was performing at a festival in the state. During the show, Vince Neil apparently approached the edge of the stage to wave to fans and misjudged the edge of the stage, falling to the ground, and reportedly had to be rushed to the hospital. Now, his bandmate took the stage and informed fans that Vince had been transported to a local area hospital, and he believed that he had broken his ribs. He also stated that Vince felt as though he could not breathe, and the extent of his injuries at this time are currently unknown. Here are a few different angles. As you can see in the first video, Vince appears to be standing on the edge of the stage. He's waving at fans, and then he falls off to the ground. From a different angle here, you can also see the point when he goes to the edge of the stage, he falls off, and then you can see his bandmate addressing fans in the crowd who are obviously very concerned seeing what unfolded and noticing that Vince is not on stage. Here's what he had to say.
Bad news. But I'm going to tell the truth. The truth is Vince fell.
Here are a few different angles, as you can see in the first video. Vince appears to be standing on the edge of the stage. He's waving at fans, and then he falls off to the ground. From a different angle here,
So I hope you guys can hear me now. So, man, poor Vince Neil. Oh, let me move every time I die out of the way. But let's bring up Vince Neil right here. There we go. I found the best picture I could. Vince Neil is not having the best go at music. Don't get me wrong. I love me some Motley Crue. But, it's easy to speak for myself, but I'm going to speak for Vince Neil here right now. I'm going to say, buddy, lay off the buffets, especially an hour before you perform. Yeah, all right. So, yeah, Vince Neil doing his thing, breaking his ribs. Poor guy. Yeah, I agree. Motley Crue is awesome. But, dude, it's... the poor guy is just having a rough go. So, I hope Vince Neil gets back on track. I mean, he is 60 years old. He's still singing about girls, 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 and I don't blame him. And, you know what? Last but not least, for the rock and metal news, open the article, darn it. There we go. Yeah, so, yeah, last but not least, you remember this guy? Yeah, that guy right there. Remember that baby that was on the Nirvana Nevermind cover? Well, sometime last year, I am not awesome. I am a podcast aficionado. Okay? So, as you can see right there, there's a baby in the water. He's getting a dollar bill. And you know what? That very baby sued the surviving members of Nirvana and Courtney Love for X amounts of millions of dollars because apparently they took the picture without permission. Excuse me. Well, he brought it to court, and the judge in court literally was just like, nah, man, I'm not with that. And he threw the case out, told the guy that his case was frivolous and it didn't need to be in court. Well, guess what? Nirvana Nevermind Baby refiles the lawsuit against the band. So according to Rolling Stone, the man who claims that he was the baby featured on the cover of Nirvana's Nevermind album has refiled his lawsuit against the band a little over a week after a judge dismissed his initial complaint. Last August, Spencer Eldon filed the lawsuit alleging that the photo of the baby reaching for the dollar in the swimming pool violated federal child pornography statuses and arguing child sexual exploitation. Wow. He also claimed that the image on the cover was taken and used without his consent. In last month's motion to dismiss, Nirvana, as well as Kurt Cobain's widow, Courtney Love, had asked the court to throw out the lawsuit, saying Eldon's claims that the photograph on the Nevermind cover is child pornography is not serious, and insisting that his claim is barred by the applicable statute of limitations. Federal child pornography law has a 10-year statute of limitations beginning when a victim reasonably discovers the violation itself or harm caused by it. On January 3rd, Judge Fernando M. Oglin, who was presiding over the case at the U.S. District Court in Central California, dismissed the case after Eldon missed his December 30th deadline to file in opposition to the defendant's motion to dismiss. However, Eldon had the option to refile an amendment lawsuit by January 30th, which he has now done. Wait. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Box. The dude is broke, and I'm sure his parents consented. Yeah, of course they consented. If they didn't consent, there would be no Eldon on the Nirvana album cover. Plain and simple. Like, come on, man. You are broke. You are desperate. I'm sorry you had your little baby penis on on one of the highest selling albums of, like ever. But that's just the way life rolled, man. Like, I'm sure there could have been a different way you could have gone about this. But honestly, this is your bad. You fucked up. So I don't have any sympathy for you. Yeah. And he's also no longer in 10 years. Absolutely. He also recreated the picture a few years back. Didn't seem to be met. Yeah, absolutely he did. I don't have that on file. I wish I did. But yeah, he recreated it as an adult. So it's like, come on, man. You are putting yourself out there and making yourself look like a fool. Stop it. If things were really hard, the least you could have done is just approach Courtney Love and ask for some money. Hell, I've heard Dave Grohl is a nice guy. If you needed some cash, I'm sure he would have spotted you a couple $100. So, like, come on, man. So that is there any more to report on that? Yeah, there's a lot to read upon it, but basically he's refiled. He is seeking $150,000 from each of the defendants, to cover attorney fees and profit from Nirvana. So Eldon's parents were reportedly paid $200 for the photos, and the shoot lasted around 15 seconds. Well, I think in this case, Eldon is no longer trying to get his 15 minutes of fame, but he's had his 15 seconds of fame. So good luck, buddy. You're just making yourself look dumb. So yeah. Where is that? Nirvana, baby. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, that is music news for right now. So, tell me what you thought of this. I know we're sans Lunchbox, in person, but as you can see, he's got these magical, magnificent, glorious glasses in this recent picture that he posted. So he's looking very elegant. Like, is that a mask or a scarf? Are you wearing a cardigan as well? I mean, what is this lunchbox we are seeing? Are we seeing a svelte and distinguished gentleman in lunchbox? Let's find out soon. But yeah, I've got some fun stories to also read to you guys. So if you guys have a funny story, please drop it in the chat. I'd love to read it on air. I'd love to see it. So, with that being said, this show is not brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. They discontinued my favorite ball spray. That stuff that makes it so your balls don't stick to your legs. Well, my testicles are very upset about that. So do not go to dollarshaveclub.com if you want upset testicles. So with that being said, yes. Man, all sorts of good news, all sorts of bad news going on. So let's read some funny stories. Because there's nothing funnier about like work stories, about sex stories. They're always just a good time. So let's do a few of these. And like I said, if you have some that you want to drop in the chat, go ahead. But let's continue on. So, okay. So this story is from a Jeff Nelson. He is somebody that I found on what website was that? On Reddit. So Jeff Nelson from Reddit. He writes, subject matter, vending machines at Google. Okay, so Google is famous for its free food. At one time, there was free breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as fully stocked bins of every kind of nuts, candy bars, and sodas you can possibly imagine. It was like a trip to Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. But one morning, everyone arrives at work to find one of the main refreshment stations replaced by a vending machine. Okay, so I'm actually familiar with how they do their stuff at Google. So I actually had a roommate who worked security there, and he would always bring home batteries. He would always bring home snacks. He would always bring home any sort of like drinks or refreshments that you wanted. Like they had everything. It was pretty freaking cool, and it was always free. As long as you were some sort of a Google employee, you can get that stuff for free. It was awesome. They also have like things like nap pods where you can go and just take a nap. So he's, but this morning things were replaced by a vending machine. You have never seen anyone so upset as a Google engineer who has to pay for his soda. The uproar inside of Google has never been greater before or since. The facilities head in charge of running the refreshment station wrote a very polite note to the company-wide mailing list along the lines of this: I would like to have a chat with whoever put the vending machines in the public area of the main building. I have received over 2,000 email messages from your fellow employees expressing great concern about it. The vending machine was a practical joke by somebody with way too much time on their hands. I have to say, that is a pretty darn good practical joke, because yeah, man, like if you got stuff for free all the time and then you'd have to start paying for it, like, dude, wouldn't you be a little pissed off? So that's always a good time. Like Google, YouTube, and I believe there's one other out there in Palo Alto, or not Palo Alto or Mountain View over there. Yeah, I agree. The Wendy's story is funny, and they do it every single year, and it's always great. But yeah, let's just kind of move on to a few more, and then we'll just call it a day. So, without my buddy Lunchbox screaming at me, there's only so much longer that I can, scream and yell on a mic just by myself. So let's check it out. So this next story, they get a little shorter. So let's go on to the world of sexual incidents, shall we? So Elena B, 26 years old, writes, I was making this spicy stew recipe online that called for a bunch of habaneros. I washed my hands pretty well, but I guess they still had pepper on them. Because later that night, when I was giving a guy a hand job, he started making funny noises and started yelling, "Ooh, ooh, ooh." Apparently his dick was burning. Sorry to this man. Oh my God. Oh man. Incidents, huh? Oh, looks like Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box has joined us. Hello. That is not me, but that must be Lunchbox. Hello, sir. Has anybody in here used any form of like icy hot or handled peppers of any form, whether they're jalapeno or habanero? Like, and accidentally touched your eye or your dick or whatever, like, dude. Okay, so yeah, it's not good. It's not fun. So Jordan has sent in a funny story. Bonus points if you type out your own funny story in the chat. So let's see what Jordan has sent us. Okay, so she sent an entire list. So I'm not even going to look at that until you at least pick one of them. So let me get rid of that. So, back to the sex stuff real quick. Jim, who didn't disclose his age, clearing it up, he says, I know how to put on condoms. I don't use them all the time, but I know how to use one. This time I was so wasted and I couldn't process what was happening and I couldn't figure out how to put the condom on, and she had to put it on. She had to put it on me. It's also safe to say sex was pretty bad too, and I couldn't keep it up. The whole night is embarrassing. Okay, so I may have done a little flub there because that wasn't necessarily funny per se, but I will say that it is relatively known that if you drink a lot and try to have sex as a man, there's a good chance that you won't get hard, or at least stay hard. So it happens to most of you men out there. So yeah, be careful with that. And I've also heard that if you drink a bunch of beer, it doesn't really affect you that much with beer, but if you drink things like alcohol, then that's when it starts getting a little dicey. Things like vodka or whiskey, or that's why they call it whiskey dick, right? So yeah. So stay away from that stuff if you feel like, yeah, exactly. Whiskey, hence the term whiskey dick. Yes. God, I'm getting a whole bunch of messages over here. What are people saying? Oh, okay. So not about that, but so I got a couple little short stories of my own for you. So one involves one of my ex-roommates, and I might have said this on the podcast, but it's been 100 episodes, so I might just say it again. So I had this roommate by the name of Austin, and I just moved Heather in and just moved the dog in. The dog was still kind of getting used to living in the place, and what Brody was used to doing was that he was used to doing being put into a kennel at night. So we'd put him in the living room. He was in the kennel, yada, 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 yada. Well, one night he broke out of his kennel at 2:00 in the morning, and he ran into Austin's room, pushing open the door and taking a big, fat, steamy, diarrhea shit right in the middle of the floor. It looked like chocolate mousse. It was frosty. It smelled terrible. It was just bad, man. Well, I get this little knock on my door. And Austin's knocking on the door. I'm asleep. Heather's next to me, and I try to wake her up. I'm like, Heather, go get your dog. Go get your dog. And, like the smart woman that she is, she didn't move or budge. So I had to get up and deal with the shit. Okay. So I'm in there and I'm cleaning it up, and I'm like, dude, I'm so sorry. I apologize. That is my bad. I didn't think he would do something like that. And well, I look over to my left, and on his gaming desk, there was this giant 2-liter bottle of a Dr. Pepper. I think it was Dr. Pepper. Yeah, I think it was Dr. Pepper. But it wasn't Dr. Pepper. it was yellow. It was a 2-liter bottle of piss. What? Like, so in the midst of me apologizing to him and, cleaning up the dog shit and all that stuff, I see this giant bottle of piss and I'm like, Austin, what is that? And he's like, what is soda? I'm like, nah, dude, you have yellow liquid in a Dr. Pepper bottle. He was like, hey man, it's just soda. It's just soda, man. I was like, that's not soda. Why do you have a bunch of piss in a bottle, bro? He's like, it's not piss, bro. It's not piss. So the next day when he went to work, he leaves his door open. So I just kind of peeked in to see if it was still there, and it was gone. And I was like, not piss, huh? So I asked him when he came home from work, I was like, hey man, so what was up with the bottle of piss in there? Like, your room is legitimately 5 feet from your gaming chair to the bathroom. 5 feet. You take 3 steps out of the bedroom and 2 steps into the bathroom. Like, it was that close. And his response was literally, I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know what bottle of piss you're talking about. I don't know what happened. This never happened. You are crazy. He games hard, and that 5 feet could cause, yeah. But yeah, for once, I agree with Jordan. It was a lame excuse, and it was just nasty, man. I don't care. I don't care what I'm doing. Like, I will hold my piss. Like, for example, because I had a 3-day weekend, I played a lot of Fallout 76 last night, and I'll tell you what. Yeah, he piss lighted me. That is great. He piss lighted me. Buddy, you have created a new term. That is awesome. But I played a lot of Fallout 76 last night, and I had to pee very badly. But what I did was, what any normal person would have done was, I would have finished a battle and set my controller down, take a piss, and come back. How hard is that? Come on, man. All right. Well, I hope Austin is in a good place. I haven't talked to him since I evicted him. I didn't evict him because I didn't like him. I evicted him because we had a baby. So, true. But I'm also not 400 pounds. So I can almost see where he's coming from, but at the same time, still, that's pretty gross. And the fact, how good is his aim? Like a 2-liter bottle is like this big? Maybe that big? So is he just sticking it right in, sticking it right in there and doing it? And to get it all the way to the top, that was impressive. I'll give him style points for that one. It was all the way to the top. It looked like a brand new 2-liter bottle, but it was yellow in a Dr. Pepper's thing. So yeah, I just kind of put the head against the cap. Yeah, for sure. But yeah. Another fun, random, stupid story was, I remember being in 8th grade, and this is just a really short one, or no, 9th or 10th grade. I remember being in one of those grades, and we're in history class, or history or social studies, one of the two, whatever. And he, as in my cousin Justin Lamar, we're right in the middle of the test, or of a test, and he turns to me and he goes, "Hey, Brandon, psst, hey, so, can you tell me, is the United States a state or a country?" And I just stare buckets into him. And he looks at me and goes, "Cuz, what is it?" And I go, "Man, I ain't even going to tell you, bro." He goes, "What? Oh, come on. Come on, man." I'm like, is the United States a state or a country? Think about that. So I have been thinking about it, and I can't come up with the right answer. And I just shook my head and turned right back around and started doing the test again. It's Afterwards, he approached me. He goes, "How come you didn't give me the answer?" I'm like, "Because it's a country. What the hell, dude?" So I didn't know. Motherfucker. Really? He's like, "Oh, I don't know, dude. I'm sorry." I'm like, all right, whatever. Oh, yeah. So that was just a quick little story about my cousin. Okay. So I think I got about one or two more left in me. I think Jordan actually dropped something in here. Let me see. Okay, so Jordan says, "Well, I thought the onion that I was chopping wasn't going to make me cry, but it was a big one that I chopped, and it did make me cry, and I couldn't stop crying." You know what? Like, I won't give you shit about that, but I will say that it even makes me cry. Onions suck. I hate onions so bad. I like them when they're caramelized. They got that nice taste. They got just a minimal crunch, and they blend in with the rest of the meal. But when you're chopping onions, I wonder if that's a cure for COVID. Like, if you're chopping onions, right? And then as you're chopping them, they're opening up your sinuses. They're opening up all the pores in your nose and your sinus and your throat. I wonder if that would help some people. So, with that being said, go out, load up on some onions, and see if that will work for any of you. So check it out. You think so, though? You think it would be agony? I think it will help just clear out everything, honestly. But I would recommend giving it a shot, honestly. So anyways, I got a couple more left in me, and I'm going to let you go. So, we're going to dive right back into the ridiculous sexual situations. So, is there a name on this one? No. But, okay. So, let's see. When I was dating this very nice lady in college, she was homeschooled, and her parents were really religious. But she was gorgeous. So I figured, why not date her? It's college. Everyone will believe we had sex even if we didn't. Turns out she's a freak. So we're having sex one night in our dorm room, and I'm behind her, and she's bent over, head in the pillow, muffling her screams. I'm about to come, and boom, my roommate walks in. I slip out, but mid-hump, and as I come, so my penis slides up her butt, and I come in my own eye. Oh my God. It burned like a motherfucker, so I start screaming. She's mortified. She doesn't know why I'm screaming and why my roommate is standing there at the door laughing his ass off. I couldn't believe it, and a couple weeks later, she broke up with me because she couldn't stand seeing my roommate because she is still upkeeping on her super religious appearances. Oh my God. Actually, no, I don't have a sore throat. Wait, are you talking about... Oh, you're talking about the onions. I'm sorry. I have a little raspy throat from talking for an hour and a half, but my throat's good. I hope you're good over there, my friend. I hope everything is wrapping up for you guys pretty good. So, oh, dude, I've never had that happen to me before. Cum in the eye just sounds painful. If any ladies have ever experienced that, I am so sorry. That sucks. I'm sure it burns. Probably more than some onions. I remember one time I was having sex with one of my exes, and it was my time to arrive at the situation. And when I did, instead of just kind of doing the I never shot myself as a 13-year. No, I have not. And I'm very fortunate for that, Lunchbox. Sorry. I know Vanek gets on me for giggling a lot, but I can't help it. It is just a tick. I love it. I don't care. But no, I've never done that. But back to my like short story. Like, you know, I'm banging one of my exes, and well, this is what I'm about to talk about, my friend. And as per typical, like, you know, when you pull out, you just kind of, you know, place your jism, like kind of in any area that is allowed. So whether it be the stomach or all over the breasts or on the face or just wherever's clever. Well, in this particular time, she moved. She moved with the quickness. She moved out of the way, and I proceeded to paint her curtains. Paint the curtains and the blinds with, you know, white paint, so to speak. It looked like a Jackson Pollock painting. Except there was no blood, thank goodness. Thank goodness. So, I don't know if anybody has ever experienced any messy situation. If you've had a messy situation in the bedroom, drop it in the chat right now. I want to know about it. But I got one more, so I'm going to tell one more short story and then see if there's any in the chat, and then we'll wrap up, okay? All right, so where is it? Is it the right one? Okay, so kind of along the same vein of what we just talked about in that last story. So my wife and I work opposite shifts and hardly see each other for a while. I had managed to hold out and not jerk off for almost 2 weeks. Both managed to be at home at the same time for once, and we're furiously going at it, her on top. Our bedroom door was closed, and we were just on top of the bed doing our thing. We hear the front door open, and her sister called out that, you know, called out that she was there. Hello. Wife did not want to stop and kept going. All right. Sister opened our door, and my wife rolled off me just as I came. I came a lot with great fury and furious anger, probably an all-time distance record. Hands-free, mind you. With her sister staring in disbelief as the volcano of semen spurted forth from my penis. She was too shocked to shut the door. We all just started laughing. Oh shit, that is pretty damn awkward. Oh, wow. Shit, dude. I couldn't imagine that. I couldn't imagine being caught by my sister. Have any of you been caught by somebody doing the thing? Were you embarrassed at all? No, that wasn't my story, Jordan. unless you're on the other. No, unless you're a few minutes behind. If you're a few minutes behind, I wasn't embarrassed, but it was a laughable moment for sure. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Do I have another one? I do have some. Let's see. I have one that's like really long. What the hell? I'll read one more unless you guys got some for me. Oh, okay. Well, Lunchbox already has one. Okay. Mom walked in with my gear between my wife's knockers. Luckily, she still had a shirt on. Oh my God. That is like the worst position ever. Like, it's one thing if you're going to be like on top, or if like she's on top, you can kind of do that like tuck and roll kind of thing where you can just kind of like roll over and like, you're like, nothing's happening. But like you just like one of you just kind of like what was the position? Like, were you like on top of her, or was she like on top of you? Like, I can't imagine. But you know what? Your mom's cool as hell, man. Like, she probably was just like, oh, we can do this. Okay. So let's bring on Lunchbox to tell his quick story real quick. So let's give him a call. Here we go. Is he going to pick up? Okay. Well, that being said, my friends, I got one more for you, and then we'll wrap it up. So, this one comes from William Flattery. He says, disclaimer, this story might require a little constitution on your part. Okay, so take it with a grain of salt, I think is what he's saying. He says, when I was 11, my mom was in a car accident in a family minivan, and it was totaled. While the insurance was sorting things out, they gave us some four-door sedan for a family of 6. And the other vehicle we had was my father's truck. So after about a month of having this sedan, my parents decided it had been too long since we had went out and did something together. So tonight, we're going to eat somewhere as a family, which is always nice. We decided on Chinese and had a good night at the restaurant. On the way back home, the configuration of the car is as follows. My dad is driving. My mom is in the passenger seat. My brother, who is 15, is behind the driver. In his lap, my youngest brother, who is 7, and the middle seat was me and my mom, my mother, my older sister was 14. Now, as we're driving back, a joke is told that my little brother is just cracking up. He's laughing so hard he starts coughing to the point where he can't breathe, and he starts having an asthma attack. So he is using his inhaler and starts speaking through little gasps. Mom, I think I'm gonna throw up. My dad reacts instantly. There's a garbage bag underneath your feet. Find it. As we could imagine, as you could imagine, we frantically try to find this garbage bag, but to no avail. So my mother grabs a to-go cup from the front, dumps its contents out the window and says, throw up in this. This is Garth from Wayne's World. If you gotta spew in this. It says, throw up in this. Hands it to my older brother. This all happens in a matter of 30 seconds, as you can imagine. My older brother is holding the cup, and my little brother starts throwing up in it to the point where it's overflowing to my older brother, who was sitting very stone-faced and stoic, and on to me, who was starting to gag a little. My mom, again, reacting quickly, says, "Give me the cup," which she takes and, again, promptly tosses the contents out the window. Here's the thing. My sister had her head out the window, so she would have to smell the throw up in the car. So she wouldn't smell the throw up in the car. Not until the day I die will I ever forget the look on my sister's face when she pulled back into the car towards me. It was a mixture of horror and apology, half disgusted, half covered in my little brother's vomit. It was smeared over exactly half of her face, and it was so disgusting. In the split second she had, her eye said to me, "I'm sorry this is happening." And she unhesitatingly vomited all over both of us. Oh no. Naturally, being covered in two different kinds of vomit would have just seen a face out of a horror movie. I instantly vomit on both of us as well. Oh no. My older brother just sat there stoic. My mom is laughing so hard at what she's done that she's having her own coughing fit in the front. My dad is yelling, "What the fuck is going on back there?" He is pissed, and this just adds to the hilarity of the situation. At the point, we're on pretty much back roads, so we pull over and strip down to nothing. My brother and I are in our boxers. My sister is in her older brother's t-shirt, the only clean piece of clothing in the back of the car, and her underwear. My dad starts the car and says, "I can't believe this." And my mom says, "What's wrong?" My dad says, "We're about to run out of gas." We were a pretty good way from anything, so there's a real possibility we could be stranded in our current state, which makes my mom laugh some more at the ridiculousness of it all. However, we do make it to a gas station, which affords us some pretty funny looks from strangers looking into a car at these naked children in the back. We make it home, and after we get out under everyone's feet, we find the trash bag. Wow. I will say, I spent a year being an EMT. I've dealt with piss, shit, blood, but the one thing I could never handle was vomit. And that is just something that I don't think I could have handled myself. That would have made me spew. And, oh, God, I couldn't imagine that. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week, Lunchbox will be back as we tackle the Royal Rumble. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. It is Royal Rumble season. Royal Rumble is next Sunday. And you know what? We'll see how it goes. You know, I had this thought that Bobby Lashley was going to win the men's Rumble, and looks like WWE has thwarted my opinion. Excuse me. So we shall see how it goes. We'll go over who we think is going to be in the Rumble. We'll go over our favorite Rumbles. We'll do a review of the 1994 Royal Rumble because we love that Royal Rumble. And maybe we'll see a guest or two. Who knows? But next week, episode 143 of Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box, Lunchbox will be back. And we will be talking wrestling once again. So with that being said, for the 892th time that I've said that tonight, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching. I am Brandon, the Boss Blacker. You can find me on Instagram at TheRealBrandonBlacker. Go find my band, Suburban Paranoia, on all social media platforms. Check out our YouTube, go see our music videos, and all of that cool stuff. Also, keep a heads up, because Giving the Devil His Due is coming back. You're going to see some dark, moody, hardcore music brought to you by me. So keep that going. Lunchbox, I miss you, buddy. We'll see you next week. Get well. I hope the family stays well, and I will see you next time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Talking Shop with the Boss in the Box. I hope you stay well, and we will see you next time.